Hey guys, it's YOU WACK, and I make a lot of videos just trying to help you guys out, especially in competitive, whether it's trying to be a better teammate or just trying to improve you as an individual, because you can't change human behavior. You can't really change how teammates are really going to be unless you're really persuasive. You can always just try to improve yourself. That's in life or in Overwatch, whether it's like talking about off-meta picks, what you need to do with gold medals, trying to flex on the teammates. They all share one related theme, and it's having this mindset when going into competitive. And a lot of people kind of don't like that when I say that, because that's kind of like the secret tactic that I always try to promote, but it's one of those things that doesn't seem like a secret tactic because it doesn't always work. So I get a lot of these comments saying, oh, bro, you act, I try to apply what you say in these videos, I try improving my aim or whatnot, and I still get toxic teammates, I still get people that throw, and I still can't lose the game. And they make it seem like this happens every single game. They go on a 50-game losing streak, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but in this video, I am going to talk about more about competitive and that kind of mindset, and just relating to playing what you want to play, because that seems to be one thing that a lot of people resort to whenever their efforts don't go appreciated. When they're flexing on the heroes they don't know how to play, or they're trying to play what the team needs, and they still get people that lose the game, and they get frustrated and they feel like, oh, bro, you act, your tips don't work. Well, let me just explain. Whenever it comes to competitive Overwatch, I always say the better team is gonna win. I know a lot of people don't like to agree with that, especially in Season 7 to Season 8, but slowly as time progresses, it's starting to be like that. In Season 9, I truly do feel like whoever is the better team that knows their heroes insides and out is more than likely gonna win. Sure, you do have outside factors, but really that's the core basis of competitive. Let's all try to agree on that. Now, a lot of people like to say, oh, I'm flexing onto Lucio, I'm playing onto Reinhardt, or Pharah, I'm playing all these heroes I don't know how to play, I'm still losing. There you go. There you go. And then you resort to playing heroes that you know how to play and that you do want to play, and then you get frustrated, and then everyone resorts to that. That's probably where the problem kind of underlies. You should always try to play who you want to play. However, you should always try to play who you're good with, and that kind of goes hand in hand. You're good with a hero that you know how to play, and you flex on the heroes that you don't know how to play. That's where you need to improve. A lot of people like to flex onto tanks and support heroes that they don't really necessarily know how to play correctly, and then they lose. Well, that's where you have to also improve on. Try to play and practice the heroes in quick play, arcade, whatever, that you're constantly flexing onto, so that you're better prepared, and that again, this is a situation that necessarily you don't want to play like the Reinhardt. You don't want to necessarily play the Lucio, but you're also signing a kind of contract, an imaginary contract when you go into competitive. Hey, I'm willing to play what the team needs, even if that's flexing onto heroes that I don't necessarily want to play. You should always try to know how to play the heroes, because I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to let you on a little secret. I don't want to play Soldier 76. I don't really like Soldier 76. He's my second most played hero in Overwatch. I know how to play him. I don't necessarily want to play him. Now, my first played is obviously Mei, and I would love to play Mei 100% of the time. I know she's not good in situations. I know when she's countered, so I'm going to switch to a hero that I know how to play, but don't necessarily want to play, which is Soldier 76. You're allowed to play what you want to play. This isn't Korea. No one's going to nuke you. No one's going to threaten to throw a nuke over your house like Tweak in South Park, alright? You can play what you want, but realize this, that if you get countered, you're causing the problem. Okay, then you're being flexible and you're willing to play what the team needs. But that's also, it's sort of like a double-edged sword at that point. You're playing a Hanzo, you get countered by a Pharah and a Reinhardt because of the shield. Okay, then you play like a Junkrat or whatever. Well, you don't know how to play Junkrat correctly, you're over here dying, and it's pretty much a 5v6 every single fight. So again, having that mindset of playing what the team needs and not thinking about yourself first is important, but realize what your strengths are so that you can be a better teammate. Remember how I said at the beginning how I always try to promote being a better teammate? Practicing heroes that you don't normally play but you constantly flex onto is a way that you can improve yourself and just be a better teammate. A perfect example of this that I just did recently is learn to play Orisa. So I watched a couple of Orisa videos because surprisingly I'm still learning every single day. I'm not a perfect Overwatch player, but I said constantly, I do not know how to play Reinhardt. But it is so important to have an anchor tank. It is so important to have a shield tank, especially when you get in the higher ranks, when you have to face someone like snipers or face someone like a McCree or something. So instead of just whining and complaining, saying, I'm never going to learn how to play an anchor tank, well, I tried Orisa because I do know how to shoot lead shot guns, which is like projectile weapons like Mei or Zenyatta. So I learned Orisa. It was hard at first, but I started to get the hang of it. I'm not perfect, but that's just an example of a hero that I constantly saw myself flexing onto, but I truly didn't know how to play. So what I did, I looked up videos, I played her in quick play, and I just tried to learn what her role was. And you might be thinking to yourself, oh bro, you whack, you know, I appreciate the tips, I've tried doing it, but it just doesn't work. So why should I do it if no one else is gonna do it? You wanna know what that's called being? That's called being selfish. Knowing what you gotta do, but not doing it because you think other people aren't gonna do it, and you just have to do it selflessly. You know, people might not always do it. People aren't always gonna have the mindset that you have, but if you can fall asleep at night and at least knowing, hey, I flexed on heroes that I truly know how to play and I gave my full-on effort, then that's all that matters. You know, you've done what you can control, and I always say only control what's in your control. That's not the right saying, but that's just what I always say, and you've done it. You know, that's just a bad team. But if you play what you want to play and realize no one else is flexing and you're not making that first initiative, then you're just as bad as the current problem. You know, whether it's in Overwatch or even in relationships, it's all about sacrifices and making that first step to selfishly solve the problem. And this problem here, even though it's not that serious, but I'm just trying to paint in the picture of like a real life scenario, is just flexing onto someone to help better the team comp, whether it's an anchor tank or playing a hero that you know how to play, which could be a support hero. It's just all about having that mindset. And that's all I have to say. You can play what you want to play, but also try to flex on other heroes that you also know how to play so that you're being a team player, not being a selfish player. I don't know how to say it. I'm gonna go now. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.